Hey, there we go. Lovely. Didn't even know that you could do that on a phone. Perfect. We learn something new every day, right? Um, okay. So this morning, I want to talk about excuses. And something is telling me that I'm away. I don't know why it's saying I'm away. Um, but let's talk about excuses, y'all. Okay. So when you guys think about where you want to be, where you're going, where you're on your way to, your vision, your goals, we all have that thing or maybe that series of things that gets in the way, right? I would be AO, but insert circumstance, right? Insert excuse, insert the thing that is in the way. So I would love for you guys to in the chat drop what those things are. Like we've all got them. Maybe you don't resonate with the word excuse. Maybe it doesn't feel like an excuse. Maybe it feels like a legitimate reason why you're not further along, why you're not making more money, why you don't have the time, whatever it is. Drop in the chat what those things are that if they were not in your way, if they were not something that you were navigating, you'd be there. You'd be AO, you'd be 130, you'd be making as much money as you want to be making. Oh yeah, I'm still figuring this all out. I'm new. I don't know enough or I don't know as much as that person for sure. And Carolina, you are doing a great job of figuring this all out. I've been loving watching watching you. All right. Nobody else has any. Everybody else is exactly where they were. Okay. Not being consistent. Okay. So Rosario, I would ask, what's in the way of being consistent? Like, why do you feel like you can't be consistent?
I think it's just my mindset. Need to do
Okay.
it, and I'm not doing it. Just
Yeah.
setting that time aside.
Yeah.
Um, that's all I could really think right now. It's 6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, you're good. Thanks for being here. It takes on a Saturday. That's some serious commitment. And with everything, you guys, the more specific you can be, right? So we can recognize that it's our mindset, but what specifically? What are the actual thoughts? What are the actual beliefs that are getting in the way? And those are great questions to ask. Maybe not at 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning, but they're good. They're good questions to ask. Needing to fund more leads. Okay, so feeling like you don't have enough resources. I'm gonna be walking around my dark house because um my daughter is calling for me. Okay, what else do we have? We've got being too nervous. Okay, yep. All right. Sorry. Okay. Can we watch a movie, hon? Oh. All right. Here, Annie, I'm gonna give you the controller. Just hit that button if that happens again. Okay. Single mom life. Um, she's watching something on the TV and the TV keeps like cutting out. So every 2 minutes we have to turn it back on. Okay. Time restraints with being yep, full-time mom, homeschooling time. I think time limitations are huge. Okay. So there's obviously a lot of ways to think about and to define excuses, but how I think about it and define it is all those excuses are, whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's skill set, whether it's resources, whatever it is, an excuse. And it's really important just that we recognize that we all have excuses, right? So that's not a dig, that's not an insult, right? We all have excuses. We are all not where we want to be. That's why we're here, right? And so an excuse is simply a circumstance that our brain attaches to and uses to be right about our belief system. And specifically, this we're talking about the limiting beliefs, right? The parts of our belief system that are holding us back, right? That are creating a perfect environment to self sabotage. So, if an excuse is just a circumstance that our brain is saying, hey, I'm going to hold on to this, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use this to convince you that you're right about not being good enough or about not having enough time or about whatever the belief is about that belief system is truly setting the show, right? It is laying the foundation for everything that we believe and everything that we do. Because if we don't believe something is true or is possible, we're not actually going to go for it, right? There's no point. Our brain knows better than to exert energy to do something that it doesn't believe that we can be successful at, right? So this is where we need to like insert. This is where the work. We talk about the work. What does that actually mean? So our job is to prove our brain wrong. So our brain wants to be right. It is literally how the brain is wired. Our brain is wired to belief system and then to live by that and to every single day go out and collect the evidence that belief system that was created before we were 8 years old, by the way, when our brain was still developing and we were still understanding how the whole world was working, our brain is just collecting evidence to prove it right. The work is proving it wrong. The work is to consciously do what and think, not just do, not just action, but thinking and doing what is against what feels most natural. Because what feels most natural is keeping us safe. What this is why, like, we kind of talk around. I feel like sometimes in this space, there's we talk like beat around the bush. Like we talk about the thing without addressing the thing. Right? And so we can talk about discomfort, right? People will say, get comfortable being uncomfortable. But like, what does it actually mean, right? What that means is that when your brain is saying, take the day off or don't dial or 25 dials is enough or this other thing is more important or my kids are sick or like whatever the thing is, we have to interrupt that pattern, that thought, that action, that temptation to go with what is most comfortable and get uncomfortable, do the thing. And then oftentimes it's the opposite. Now, we just talked we didn't meet last week, but 2 weeks ago, or the last call we had was about human design. And human design is all about alignment. And this is where discernment as a leader, as someone who can lead yourself, this discernment is so important because something can be uncomfortable and super aligned. Something can be comfortable and totally out of alignment. So when we're thinking about interrupting these patterns, when we're thinking about like, okay, how I'm going to reprogram my brain to believe something new is that I'm going to take a different action. I'm going to think a different thought. That is all very conscious work, right? We're not going to become a new version of ourselves, right? Or do the work by just wanting to do it or by sitting back and listening to other people talk about how to do it, right? It's very active, it's very uncomfortable. And the kind of two checks that I always put myself through is like, what is comfortable? What is uncomfortable, right? What's natural? What's unnatural? What is my brain wanting to be doing versus what is my brain capable of that will allow me to get to that next level? But also what feels aligned and what feels misaligned. So for me, from a consistency standpoint, I it is a line for me every single day. I can create 15, 20, 30 minutes an hour to be on accountability every day, 9 a.m., no matter what. Literally, no matter what, on vacation, in the ICU, dying of sepsis, whatever it is, I can make that happen. But there are other things that are not in alignment for me to do every single day, no matter what. And this again comes back to my human design. So some people, you're actually going to feel more aligned in doing the same things every single day. That's gonna feel more aligned and more either natural or unnatural, depending on how fast you want to recreate or rewire your brain and to create a new belief set. But the two kind of checks that I go through in my brain is the comfort versus discomfort. And to the point where if I'm choosing something that is uncomfortable, I'm usually more in alignment because that's what I want. That's where I'm headed right now, right? I'm headed to a space that is going to require me to be uncomfortable. So the discomfort is in alignment. Comfort is not in alignment. And sometimes, depending on where you are, that might be switched. Um, okay, this is really weird being on my phone because I can't see like your faces and um yeah, Carolina, the human design definitely does. Um, so I mean, if you guys have any questions or if you guys want me to dig into anything specific, we definitely can do that. Hi, sweetheart. Um, but I can share a story. I feel like if I go into like my next tangent, we're gonna go like way too late. But I recently learned something about myself that could very easily be an excuse as to why I'm not further along, right? If any of you guys follow me on social media, you may have seen it. Um, but literally learned something about my brain that only 0.9% of people are affected by. And it's so easy to be like, oh, well, that's why I haven't manifested the thing or gotten to where I want to be, or that's what's wrong with me, right? And I think it's just really the awareness of how we're talking to ourselves and the excuses that we're making. Even if that is just as simple as, I don't know. I don't know. Those of you who know me probably like I shut that down. You know, the I don't know is a hands up, right? If I don't know how to do something, if I don't know what it's going to take, if I don't know where to go, that is hands up. That is an excuse. That is your brain saying, I don't know. Because if I don't know, I can't take action. If I don't know how to do something, I don't have to do it, right? If I don't know what is wrong, if I don't know what my limiting beliefs are, then I don't have to address them. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You do know. And so every time you're probably next time you hear or think, I don't know, you're probably going to think of this. Um, I don't know is an invitation to check in with your body, with yourself, because you do know. And there might legitimately things, right? Like my daughter is 3 years old. There are things that she legitimately does not know how to do. But as adults, typically, if there's something we don't know how to do, especially when it comes to business, it's not that we don't know how to do it. It's that we're not willing to. It's that we don't want to. And so that becomes a completely different conversation. Yeah, Maura knows. Never go to Marcy saying, I don't know. That's yeah. Carolina, you have it too? Okay. We might have a whole call just on aphantasia. We'll see. I'm starting to like
What?
I'm starting to think that this ratio is not correct, that they say that it's only 1%. But yeah, well, we can follow it. I'm about to go ham on social media with this aphantasia stuff. So yeah, tons of resources. So I know we had a little bit of interruption. Thank you guys again for your patience and tolerance of me with this weird being on my phone and interruptions. But again, right, I'm going to show up. I had a million excuses, a million reasons why I could have canceled this week as well, but it's not aligned, right? Canceling it last week while on vacation, that was aligned for me, right? And so as you guys go into today, as you go into this week, as you go into the rest of this month and the rest of this year, even into 2026, be just really real with yourself. Like, what are your excuses? What are those limiting beliefs? And what do you need to do to get really, really uncomfortable and to get more into that student zone, that learning zone, that I don't know what I'm doing zone, right? Like, that's actually like a really powerful place to be because we're not going to be there for a long time. I was recently talking to one of my new agents, Valerie, who's here, who she just started, and she was asking me a bunch of questions, and I was answering a bunch of questions, and I was reminding her that she stays in this discomfort, if she stays in this space that feels so stressful, and because she's diving in, right? So she is like full floodgates, right? She's learning all of the things. She's had some tricky clients already. I hope it's okay that I'm speaking for you, Valerie. But I just reminded her, like, if you keep doing what you're doing, in 10 months, in 9 months, in 6 months, you will be on the phone with one of your new agents answering all of the questions very comfortably that 6 months ago you didn't even know how to ask the question because you didn't know what you didn't know, right? So take that and run with it and be real with yourself and get to work. And as always, if you guys want to chat more about this stuff, come back to Saturday Accountability every Saturday at 9 a.m. And also feel free to reach out to me on social media or on group me. I should be pretty easy to find. But that is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for your patience and for being here today. I don't know if I'm going to be in the back room today. We'll see. But if I can squeeze in some work time today while my daughter does whatever she's going to do, I will see you there. But I love you guys all so much. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Marcy. Thank you. Happy
Thank
Saturday.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Have a good weekend.
You as well.